Oh, that makes sense. Okay. I was curious about that. Hmm. That's interesting. Everything should be fine. Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? Just woke up. I understand. Makes sense. Makes sense. But hopefully you're having a pretty chill morning, you know? I need to check something. So I need to check something quickly. I saw an issue be opened related to Tinker's construct. I think I have Tinkers in this, right? I should. Yeah, there's no way I don't. Yeah, I do. Okay. That's what I thought. So allegedly, this thing's damage distribution is all bludgeoning and changed to firewood. It is a bit fire. So then, I don't know what you're going on about. Oh wait, I need to go here. The thing they're concerned about is that they start with a stone one, right? And then, well, where's the other Tinker stuff? General items. Oh, why do you have a general items when not general? Blah, whatever. Whatever. Yeah, just give me the tool forge. So apparently, this has a damage distribution 100% bludgeoning, and they do this. I don't know, dude. It seems to work. Oh, why does that appear all the way down here, dude? That's not, you're not supposed to be down there. Interesting. Why does that fire appear way down there? I have an idea as to why. Yeah, it still says that. They did also close the issue. I assume they got it fixed. Uh, what do you mean? Oh, okay. Well, that's that. There was an issue being raised about the Tinker stuff, so I wanted to verify that it is indeed working, which it is, except for the fact that there's this situation. Actually, I'm curious now. I need to know if the armor works. Armor effectiveness shows up correctly. Okay. And that makes sense. And I need to check the plates as well. Armor effectiveness. Right. So it should work the exact same like this, but it should do that. Okay, so yeah, I see. I see. Okay, so that's an issue with Conarm and Tinkers. Let's go take a look at that. And these make sense. Everything else should be fine because Lycanites, for example, doesn't have its own uh tooltip handler thing that it does this thing. Right, okay. First things first. Sorry about that. All right, so first things first is this needs to default damage, default damage. I mean, that's fine, actually, so it doesn't really matter. It's this that, Tinker Toolpart Formatter, get number formatting strategy. Right. Wait. Get number formatting strategy. percent. Good morning. What's the degree for? The math that I'm going to be doing later. Definitely. This gets... Yeah, wait, what? Let me quickly take a look for this. Something's funky. Okay, so the issue we have is very very simple, but I'm not sure exactly how to narrow it down. Um, Get me a tool part. Okay, so that's right. This does the whole thing. Yeah, but the icons are appearing down there. Doesn't seem to matter what combination of these I hold. It's appearing down there. Why is it appearing way down there, dude? It definitely shouldn't be. Definitely shouldn't be doing that. Let's take a look at you a little bit more closely. It's way down there. Why? If I change this to percent, it still shows up down there. That's what I thought. I didn't think it would change anything. Um, so then that's for the icon aggregators. That's for this thing, where it does this to get the number of icons to draw, but then it does this, super.get icons to draw. Which is gets the X start, and it gets the Y start. Well, actually, that's a good point. What's the Y start? What is the Y start? I think it. I feel like it gets the right start, but it's not doing it right after that because it iterates. Stream.iterate, it gets the start Y, and it adds the icon height, and then it gets the ordered types. Like, it definitely orders it correctly. I gotta go heading to town today. That's alright. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a good time. Thanks for dropping by. Have a good day, dude. Like, it does that one correctly. What does the... That's a good question. What does the, What do you do? The item damage distributor... Oh, distribution icon aggregator. Do you change anything at all? Text formatting gray.toString. Formatter.get type text.get formatted text. Okay, so it does the same thing, but why are you way down there? Is it like not reset? You think that's it? Wait, that doesn't make sense. It correctly puts it horizontally, right? Yeah, like it correctly puts it all horizontally. That's fine. But the start Y, that's wrong. That is wrong. Why is it wrong? Get start Y. What's the initial Y? Tooltip.iterator. Initial Y. Oh, it dot has next. It dot next, but starts with the regex break. Like again, you'd think that if it were you'd think that if it were positioned correctly. But there's nothing else that appears here. What the heck do you mean? Is it because of the stats? Hold on. Is it because of the stats? But then it should affect the other things, but it doesn't. It doesn't affect this. I'm pretty sure. It doesn't seem like it's showing up. Like, those are showing up in the right location. I mean, that's having a bit of an issue, but that's fine. Yeah, no, I mean, everything here is right. What? So then why are you like this? Why? Just why? The regex is wrong, I think. That might make sense. Actually, that might make sense. What's the regex? This dot bias formatter dot get start. What's the start? This dot suffix dot get formatted text dot concat dot get start dot concat number formatting strategy that I mean you work get start get number formatting strategy dot format amount extends tooltip type formatter and then you format this which returns that string. What the heck? Formatter.get type text. Get type text. But what I do here, hold on, hold on. Get type text like get formatted text. Okay, so you are the string, and then formatter.get type text. Maybe that's the thing, is that it needs to be the type text instead of this. This dot bias formatter instead of get start, which is a suffix. Because it can't match that. It cannot match that. Get type text. Get type text, I get formatted text. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe that's it. It's hard to tell. We'll see. And then there was one other thing. It was with the plates. This is a little bit easier. I just need to have it use the have it borrow the armor stuff. Where are you? Here you are. Conarm plates formatter, I believe. Config.client.armor format. Wait, so it does use the number formatting strategy. Like it uses the same thing. I'm missing one thing, right? Formatter.getColorScheme. Oh, right. The plates formatter needs to override the getColorScheme to return modconfig.client.armorColorScheme. So it's the same. Okay, so that fixes the color part. Now, is that something in the armor thing specifically that does that? Because that would be annoying. Uh, armor distribution formatter. What if I just did the same thing for this? Wait a second. What if instead of doing this, I extend armor distribution formatter? It's nothing. Yeah, no. I'm in I'm in game. I'm gonna be switching over, but I want to check this first. Why do you? Oh, okay. Import this. Copy parameterized with argument. Oh, it's not generic. Right. Yeah, it's not generic. Right. No, I wouldn't be able to do that either. Ah, okay. Idea. Let's bring it back to Eclipse. Whoops. Boop boop. Okay. I need this to use this code, but it's protected. I don't want to make it public. Well, I can't make it public. So I need to This needs a function for item stack to I armor distribution, and it needs a string for what I assume is the type text key. Yep. And now I do super this thing. Key tooltip dot control damage formatter dot colored cap extractor type text key. What's the problem? Oh, is this wait, does this return an optional? Oh, it's an optional. It's an optional. Optional IARMOR distribution. Okie dokie. What? Wait, what am I doing? There we go. And then this is just this now, and I swap this out with this. Now I can extend it. Armor distribution formatter. Oops. So I can get rid of this now. And this can be super this. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now I don't need this, ideally. I'm gonna double check. I'm pretty sure I don't need that. And I'm pretty sure I don't need that either. The icon aggregator I probably do need. And, yeah. That seems decent. And then that should fix where the icons go. Or that should fix that whole thing. I still need to check the Tinker thing. Yep. Once it decides to load all my Gradle tasks. This should work. If this doesn't work, then I need to... What if I... Because it does this correctly, that's the thing. Does this stuck at start Y? Right. Let's see. Debug lib dot. No, it needs to be a D. Not that it matters so much, but I do this. Initial start by. Not debug. Debug lib dot output this. This should allow me to kind of see what's going on there. Hopefully. Oh, yeah, save that. And then we should be good. I think. I'm hoping that this is right and that it's not a problem and I don't need to worry about anything. Okay, it ran. It built. Wait. I can't just launch. That's not gonna work. I need to go and drop it in. Build libs. There we are. Now I need to go into here. Come on, show me the spicy meatball. All right, that should work. It's eventually gonna construct tooltips, and my console is gonna be spammed. Maybe. It might be. We'll see. Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't. Okay, that's good. Okay, so. Dude, it's. It's closer. It just needs to go down like once more. Dang it, dude. Oh, because it has that influence rating there, which doesn't account for. Wait, that makes like negative sense though. Okay, but we're getting there. And do these work correctly now? I might have forgotten the icon part. Might have lightly forgotten about that. But wait, wouldn't it use the same? Oh no, it doesn't. Quantum plates formatter. Yeah, okay. Now, so then what do you do here for where are you? Oh, wait, we're down here. We're down here. Armor distribution, icon aggregator. It does have a check for get ordered types. So I just do the same thing. I have a protector, or a distribution formatter. And this takes, what do you need? You need a optional, yeah, okay. You need a function that takes an item stack and gets an optional armor distribution. Actually, it should also take a abstract capability tooltip formatter. Yeah, import function, import optional, abstract capability tooltip formatter. And it is yeah, armor distribution. Good. Yes, definitely put that there. Armor distribution, item stack, formatter. Super, formatter, cap extractor. Are you good? Oh, wait, not armor distribution formatter. Armor distribution icon aggregator. That's better. And then we just pass in, we change this to this. Now we go to the U, because that's not final, and we don't want to be final. And then this instead extends the armor distribution icon aggregator. Boom. And now all that is just handled because it deals with armor and stuff. So all that's fine. We don't need this anymore. We're brilliant. We're a genius. As far as I'm concerned. They all work the same and they all should work the same. So this works good. I don't even need this either. All this is it's an armor distribution formatter which gets its armor distribution in a slightly different way. And is used differently. And has a different icon aggregator. And the icon aggregator is just a regular armor distribution icon aggregator with a different formatter and a different way of getting the armor distribution. And that's it. And that makes sense to me. Now, this here, no, not this one. This here, this is a thing. I think I'm about to fucking kill myself. Holy shit. I just realized something that might be probably the most annoying thing ever. And I don't like that. I really don't like that. If that's a problem, I hate everything. I feel like it is gonna be a problem. Like, there's no way it's not, right? Or maybe it still works. I don't know. Actually, maybe it does still work. Maybe it's not a problem. Maybe everything's fine. Maybe everything's fine. I have some doubts. Alright, so far this is good. But what if I go to here and I change the GUI scale? What if I change it to auto, for example? Do the tooltips get bigger? The tooltips are the same. And they work the same too. Okay, thank God. I was about to freaking kill someone. Thank God. Now you, um, I need to shift you down a line. It's almost like I need it to not be distribution bias, but I need it to be the influence key. Hold on. Hold on. Do you mean in chat or yourself? No, just me. Just me. Just me. Now you. Super tick dot influence. That's that. And then it's the suffix. Where's this even used? Okay, you format that. Then what the hell is going on here? You take this. This is suffix that sets style format get start, which is the suffix dot get formatted text. Right. Oh, what if, dude? What if we don't need this? Holy shit. What a concept. And then set this to this dot bias formatter dot get start. What if? Woo, you finally made it. Hi, welcome, welcome, well, welcome. Getting closer to 60. Yeah, we're getting closer to 60. That's pretty cool. No, rerun the build, dude. Do it again. Do I have to go all the way over here and do this? I do. That's lovely. That's lovely. Okay, we're gonna get this to work, and then an hour into the stream, I'm gonna finally do what I intended to do this stream. Basically. At least that's the plan. So let's see here. Okay, what if it just works? Ah? Thinking that one? Okay, please set this back to... Actually, I'm very curious, on small, does it... Oh, it like universally scales everything. Minecraft, you're so fucking cool. Can I get your autograph? Holy shit, you're so cool, dude. Where are those icons? Maybe it's because they're too small. Hold on. So tiny. Where did the icons go? Why are you down there again? Okay. We're gonna do this right. Okay. Yeah, like, it's not finding it. It's not matching that regex. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. Um... So that's for you. What the heck's happening with you, buddy? You extended armor distribution, icon aggregator. Bro. Oh. Shit. No way. Dude. 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 That's so fucking crazy. I'm bad. This dot what it oh it's private. Don't worry. Easy fix. 10 easy little fix. Little tiny thing. Get cap. Blah. Return. Return this dot cap extractor dot apply to the stack And we also make this final so you don't overwrite it, because why would you need to? And now, look, this dot get cap stack dot filter. And then this is also this dot get cap stack. And now, so the difference was that. I'm curious, though. The plates formatter, it extends this. Right, because it already has the cap here, so it doesn't actually need to do any of that. That makes a lot of sense. But for the icon aggregator, it kind of still needs to. And so, yeah, that makes sense. That makes ça fait très du sens. That's not even proper French. And I don't know why I did that. Probably because I'm weird. So nothing else is new. I probably, I don't know. Hey, yo, French eye emoji. I I do speak a little bit of French. A little bit. Oh, wait, but the formatting codes are duplicate, dude. They're duplicate. You're joking. Wait, is it even the same thing? I speak in Spanish? Alright, the regex is with that. What are you? Imagine coding in French. Oh, actually, it's really easy. Coding in French is you still code in English. Like, you might speak French, but you need to know English to code in English, because all coding, like, oh, I'm going to program in French Java. No, you're programming in Java. You just happen to be French. It doesn't translate these words, because these are keywords that are specific to the language. Java would have to release multiple different versions, like Oracle would have to release multiple different versions of Java just for like different languages and stuff, which is like weird. And that means let's say let's say I have a variable and it is like retourner or retourne, right? Which is French for return. And I have a variable name named that, right? Then if I have that in English Java code and I compile that and I try and run it with a French Java thing, it's going to go, hey, this variable name is now named a keyword in Java, but it wasn't a keyword before when I made the code. So now it breaks, because now I can in one version of Java, I can have words that are keywords in other versions of Java. And so then it's just really, really weird. So since Java is matching things by like those specific characters, right? Um, it needs everything to be the same. Also, what the fuck am I listening to, and why am I still listening to it? That's a real fucking question. An actual real question. Okay, much better. Anyway, so like, it's not finding it. Is that suffix that sets style? Set it to that. What if? Oh wait, yeah. Do debug lib. I got an idea. I'm gonna narrow this down. I'm gonna narrow this fucking down. do debug. Record tooltip dot for each debug lib. Holy crap. I guess it doesn't really matter. Can I just debug, please? Thank you. Actually, I have a better idea. I know this needs to be a T. Um, wait, yeah, I got this. String builder equals new string builder with this, right? And then builder dot it dot for each builder add functions dot compose functions dot to string function, and then builder add, or I guess it's append. What's wrong? Oh, it needs to be a consumer? Functions dot to string function dot you know, whatever. Builder dot append s. There you go. Uh, I get it. 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 No, dude, that's not right. It dot iterator dot. You can't get the size of an iterator. That's right. arrays dot that's copy of range equals fill. Yeah. I can just iterate over the iterable. That's all I can do because it is only iterable. That makes sense. So I want this to I'm gonna do s goes to builder dot append s plus this. Then we do builder dot toString dot split on a space. S dot toString. Converts an iterable of generic elements to a separated list of the elements in the iterable. The iterable string. Wait, no, do put a period there. Put a period there, and that there too. Okay, we have that. Now I go back to wherever I was before, which was here. Don't do that. Wait, I forgot something. Output format, yeah, so that's that. This is gonna be, yeah. Interval to string per tooltip. There we go. Now, what is going on here? Spam my console. See if I care. I do, but that's fine. And this should be. This is the bias formatter dot get start, which is going to be this. And throw this over here. And then launch this. I'm gonna find out what's going on one way or another. Because the problem is that it's not matching the regex. So I can get it to work correctly. I just need to figure out what it needs to match in particular. Because it ain't matching it. Once I know why it's not matching it, then I can figure this out. Moving shovel head, distribution influence. It has a space at the start. Well actually, hold on. That's different. Okay, so that's all fine. Damage, awkward dynamic. Oh, I see. I did mess up some stuff in my little debugging here. Uh, there's that, but it looks like it's fine. I don't know why. Am I checking if it matches, or am I just checking if it starts with? Because that's completely different. If it starts with the regex. Huh? Oh my god, I figured it out. I know what the problem is. I know what the problem is. The problem is that I need text formatting dot gray dot toString plus 2 spaces plus the regex. You're joking. That's why it's not working. I'm positive. Observe. Damn it. Okay, there's only 1 space, not 2 spaces. Oopsies. I could have known that. Dang it, dude. What the heck is wrong with me? Oh well, whatever. We got it. I'm positive now. What is this red shit that's showing up here? Oh, that's for journey map and chickens. Okay. And now, we got it. Observe. God damn. You're good. Now what? I built it, right? I... Wait, I don't know if I actually did that. I don't know if I actually built it. Yeah, because it does. It does that, which is fine. But then the influence is that space influence. I swear I know what I'm doing, dude. Here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. I need to regex this dot. It's basically this plus tinker tool part formatter dot this dot bias formatter dot get start. Right? It's not bias formatter to get start. Yeah. But that's just that. That's the regex that it puts in there. It's gonna be that plus space plus that. Whoops, don't do that. Now I'll build this. I swear I'm gonna figure out what it's doing. It's either that or I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Which is still, there's still a decent possibility. And I have no idea what I'm doing. Which, seems like par for the fucking course. Wow, what am I modding? I am working on a Minecraft mod of mine called Distinct Damage Descriptions. Here's a little overview of it. And I'm working on tooltips. It works. I don't know why, but now it's in the right spot. Yay! And the plates work as well. Okay. Good. Good. Um, but yeah, this mod integrates with a lot of other mods, and it basically adds a whole damage type. I bet it can be used for an RL Craft like mod pack. It's gonna be in RL Craft. It's pretty much gonna be in it. Yeah. I've been in correspondence with Shivaxi. We've been chatting about stuff. He's been working on it on stream, so it's not like it's a private thing. Um, but yeah. So I've been adding a couple of extra things and trying to polish it up. And it seems to be everything seems to be working. Everything about this seems to be working, which is one thing. Now I need to wait. No. Go back in here. I need to check armor things. I don't need this stuff here anymore. I don't need this entire thing. Okay. One thing I need to do now is that now that I've done all of this stuff, let me just icon aggregator, bias damage distribution, includes categories, default values, this. Now I need to check because armors don't seem to be. Well, does arcodynamic means it goes fast in water? Yeah, that's for Tinker's construct. Tinker's construct means that aquadynamic means it goes faster in water. So this is DDD is adding the damage distribution and distribution bias and like that influence rating and stuff. The jagged and awkward dynamic is from Tinker's construct, which I integrate with to allow you to do interesting things. So the Tinker's construct has added the prismarine shovel head. I add extra information to it. And awkward dynamic allows it to dig a little faster in water. And stuff like that. So one thing I need to check is armor. So this has no armor effectiveness, right? So if I put this on, then that skeleton's attack should just go straight through. I never knew TC had that. Also cool, the shovel has piercing damage. Yeah, because you kind of stab people with the shovel. Well, actually, this has piercing damage because it's a very sharp shovel. Whereas a regular shovel, so it depends on the head, right? So like something like a wood shovel, it's just gonna you're smacking them with a wood shovel, right? But a prismarine shovel, prismarine's very sharp because it's jagged, right? So it's a little bit more piercing and slashing. Now the prismarine shovel itself is still mostly bludgeoning damage because prismarine shovels, it's hard to influence the distribution of a shovel. There's this whole thing about this. I'll give you a little showcase here. So each tool type has its own damage distribution. So each tool has its own distribution, right? So shovels is 100% bludgeoning baseline. And then it has a bias of 0.75. So it tries to keep its bludgeoning distribution, and this tool bias is a measure of how much it wants to keep that distribution. And then the materials attempt to influence it based off its influence rating. So we went to Prismarine, which has an influence rating of 0.8, which means it will attempt to override that distribution, but 0.8 minus 0.75 is 0.05, so it's only about like 5% effective at actually influencing a shovel, right? But for a sword is a little bit more easily influenced. It should say for this, right? Like a sword is very heavily influenced. So you can now get a Prismarine shovel. 100% bludgeoning though. The pickaxes... Oh, that's because everything says it's bludgeoning. It's not supposed to do that. It should say piercing. And the sword should be slashing. But, that's interesting. Actually, that is interesting. Why does it do that? Huh. Well, something might be broken. Yeah, it might. There's probably a little bit of a bug here. Oh, wait. I know what the issue... I think I know what the issue is. Compatibility, Tinker's Construct integration. It does have the tool bias, and it has the material influence stuff. But what it doesn't have is it doesn't have because I haven't regenerated this config file, and so what's going on here is this item base damage is missing the entries for Tinker's Construct. So if I put the entries for Tinker's Construct, I'll do that. It'll work correctly. So it just has the wrong information there. Let's put that in. This should be as easy as going to here, going to where the items are here, and then going to here, and then going, this is for mobs and projectiles, and here we are. This stuff. I need to get rid of the commas, but whatever, that's fine. Oh, wait. I need to get rid of that. Alright. Alright, I might have to copy these over one by one. That's not the worst ever. Well, actually, you know what? I could probably do it faster like this. And then I need to do... Alright, there we go. Fixed. So now it'll actually say that pickaxes do piercing damage. as they should. Because you have to define what the base distribution is, and then what the material distributions are. And this config file was created near the beginning of development. I added I added Tinker's integration a lot later and just didn't regenerate the config file, so it didn't add the new entries. And so since the entries weren't there, it defaults to bludgeoning if nothing's mentioned. And the reason it defaults to bludgeoning is that if you're holding a random block or a random item, chances are if you hit something with it, it does bludgeoning damage. Like 95% of the time, so it just defaults to bludgeoning damage. But yeah, shovels are supposed to be blunt, right? So so the shovels were right? But now if we go here, now it's actually saying that these are piercing damage. And more importantly, the book will say that the pickaxe does piercing damage. Right? You can influence a pickaxe head. It won't deviate a lot, but it can deviate, and it is piercing, right? The shovel is mostly bludgeoning. It does have a sharp edge, but typically you're just smacking them with the shovel head part, right? Primarily, right? And these have different distributions, right? Hatchet these are defaults, which you can obviously configure and change. But the default for the hatchet is that it's mostly bludgeoning because it's got a lot more of a impact to it. And then slashing. And then the Matic has a bit of everything. And this text here is dynamically created depending on the distribution, right? So this one says it's only moderately influenced because it has a moderate tool bias. Its damage won't deviate a lot, but it strikes a nice balance between bludgeoning and slashing because those are balanced, and then it does a splash of piercing damage, right? So all of this is kind of dynamically generated. But for example, the sword does slashing, and now the sword, any sword. So for example, if we take a look at an Ardite broadsword is mostly slashing, but does a touch of necrotic damage because the Ardite blade has a influence rating of 60%. It does a bit of necrotic. If Tinkers doesn't have a shovel head as spear mechanic like Tetra, then it makes sense. Oh yeah, it doesn't. Tetra, I don't have Tetra in because of how my dev environment's kind of messed up. I have to build the mod, put it in a CurseForge profile, and test it that way instead of using a debugger. But I actually do support Tetra as well. I do support Tetra. It's a very similar thing where you mention the material distribution and I believe it's influence rating, right? Yeah, the bias. It works very similarly to Tinker's. And then you mention the different like parts and the things that they have. So you basically have the same thing. It works pretty much the same thing. So it's very well integrated. Yeah, pretty much. It's very well integrated with a lot of mods. Now it doesn't. Yeah, you can edit it absolutely. Now the swords, changing out the guard or the handle isn't going to change the distribution. It's only influenced by head pieces for Tinker's construct. And it's a very similar thing with Tetra. It's only influenced by things that logically would affect it. The handle's not going to affect what damage you do, because you're not hitting it with the handle. It also works with Lycanites as well, although, again, I haven't regenerated the config file, but for example, the Cinder Blade would do fire damage. If you make a sword that uses Cinder Blade, your sword will do fire damage. Which really allows you to kind of really customize your tool to whatever you're going to be fighting, which I think is really neat. Which makes it very usable. Alright, so Cobalt primarily prefers slashing damage, but if we look at a Cobalt hammer, a cobalt hammer is going to still do bludgeoning damage because a cobalt hammer has such a high tool bias. Where is it? It has such a high tool bias of 0.9, which is higher than whatever influence thing this has. It only has 20% influence since the other thing wins out. It just takes on pure bludgeoning damage. Cause it's 0.9, yeah. So you'd think that it would actually be able to be changed, but you get the idea. What's the tool with the lowest bias? The tool with the lowest bias, by default, all of this is configurable, but the tool with the lowest bias is... Well, the tool with the highest bias is a short bow, because it should pretty much always be bludgeoning if you hit someone with a short bow. But I think the thing with the lowest bias is the shuriken, which is 0. So the shuriken just always inherits everything. A stone shuriken is going to do bludgeoning damage. But yeah, this is, oh yeah, and the cleaver. The cleaver also has very low bias. I would have thought that, this hammer still would have done... That's weird. That does piercing. That works. Interesting. It might not be like, yeah, the cobalt material itself is just not strong enough to influence it. Or something like that. Yeah, it has a rating of 0.2, so. Either that or the hammer ID is wrong. I'm pretty sure I got it right. Yeah, I did get it right. I don't know, but it works. I think the hammer should do a touch of slashing damage, but because 0.9 minus 0.2 is 0.7, so it should do like 70% bludgeoning and 30 slashing. I don't know. I know everything else works. Oh, wait, because that's not the head. Well, these are the heads, too. So it actually averages everything out, and since... Yeah, I remember. It's complicated. Can you imagine if paper had, like, 0.1 slashing damage? Just a touch. Just a little paper cut. Well, all the distributions have to add to 100%. So paper would be, like... Paper would be a slashing damage distribution, but it would have like no influence. Or yeah, it would have like a very low influence rating. Yeah, it's slashing, but it has a 0 influence rating, which means that basically it's just doing whatever the tool's doing. But things like iron and pig iron have low influence rating, so they basically mold to the tool, right? So like the pickaxe head is going to be doing like a pickaxe is going to be doing piercing damage, and so the pig irons, it might make it do like a smidge of slashing damage or whatever. Oh no, it doesn't. Probably because it's not actually strong enough to influence. I think it has to be like greater than. It has to be greater than the Oh yeah, that's right. The influence rating of the material has to be greater than the bias on the tool in order for it to actually do anything. Since the hammer has a tool bias of 90% and cobalt only has an influence of 20%, it can't actually override it. So pig iron shuriken is going to do... Pig iron shuriken is going to just be straight slashing. Because it does well, I mean, the shuriken does slashing normally, right? But, like, see, this is gonna take everything. So a slime shuriken's acid damage, because slime's acid. Magma slime is gonna be acid fire. And then Manulin's gonna be mostly slashing, tiny bit force. Or, well, mostly slashing, but, like, also almost equally force, yeah. And a paper shuriken is slashing. Exactly what you expect. You get paper cuts. But yeah, like an iron shuriken, I think its distribution is piercing, so iron shuriken does a little bit of piercing damage. Because it says, yeah, its material bias is piercing. So instead of slashing, it's piercing, so it does 10% piercing damage. Now, obviously, these values can be all pretty much configured, basically however you like, but it makes it pretty dynamic and interesting. Endstone stuff does psychic damage, by default. Which one is favored? If it's a tool or material? After all, both paper and shurikens are slashing and 0 influence. It defaults to the tool, so it takes the tool influence minus that, and then it goes, okay, we're going to subtract that from, which is 0, it's going to subtract that from the original distribution of the tool, which is going to be the shuriken by default, and then whatever we subtracted, we will replace with the material. So it starts with the tool stuff, and then it subtracts, and then it replaces with material stuff. But it basically subtracts nothing, because there's nothing to subtract, and then it just makes it do slashing. And of course, this also supports Construct Armory as well to have armor effectiveness. So armor has certain effectiveness, where the paper armor obviously does nothing. But now it can only resist the types that it's effective against. This is 30% less effective against Psychic, 70% less effective against Force, but there's different ways to set up armor. The default values are all less than 1, but for example, I think it's one of these. Oh yeah, for testing purposes, I made the chain chestplate 50% more effective against fire damage, just as a test, right? So I actually want to test it. Now, this should... Yeah, these are different values. This should still have piercing effectiveness. This should have no effectiveness. This should place nothing. What is psychic damage anyway? You mentioned stone has it, so is it like brain damage? Yeah, it's mental damage, right? This... Because Endstone is alien-like and stuff, and the default values for Endermen, they have a 50% psychic resistance. I also basically took the adaptability, a very similar concept to the adaptability that escape and run parasites have, and have that as a feature. So now mobs can, depending if you want to configure it, you can configure certain mobs to be able to resist damage types and stuff. But like the Endermen have a 50% psychic resistance, and so I made this do psychic damage. It's you could argue that it's a touch of emotional damage, or like brain melting damage. They all have their own death messages and stuff depending on what you get killed by. And if that's not enough for you, you can also create custom types. Like I have here, this stick does example damage because I made a custom thing. It doesn't have an icon associated with it because I don't support custom icons for now. It's just something I haven't done. Yeah, this does example damage, and you can define custom death messages with it too. I did this pretty much last stream. I gave the zombie a stick, it beat me with the stick, it said it made an example out of me, because that's the death message I set for it. And now, mostly like, this is supposed to work, but I think I somehow, somewhere along the way, I messed up. Oh wait, I need to turn off this thing. So it has no armor effectiveness, but it still says 3.52. Now, I want to compare this to a different gold chestplate. Interesting, this says this shows up nothing. Oh, because what the heck? Where do I have the gold chestplate? Oh, the gold chestplate is nothing. Which means it should have 100% effectiveness against everything, right? Yeah, it does the same thing. This should do... It doesn't seem to be applying the armor stuff. That's what it looks like is going on here. Which means armor is working normally, which it should not be. Like, this has a minus 100% piercing effectiveness. And I still take the same damage. But this one should have full piercing effectiveness, and I'm gonna take the same damage. Something is not right. It's like skipping armor calculations. Why are you skipping armor calculations? What have you done? Now we get into the weeds, dude. Now we get into the weeds. This thing. Right, you classify... I have armor calcs enabled, right? I hope it's not that I was that stupid and I just didn't do that. I'm pretty sure I had armor calcs enabled, so I don't know what's going on here. Handle hurt stage. Okay, and then we have this thing here, wherever it is. I think it's under util. No. No, don't rename that. Combat calculations. On knockback, on damage, on hurt. Is event priority low? Now, okay. Okay. First let's make sure that I have this stuff correctly enabled. core. Is it under core? No, it should be under resistance. Armor calculation rule. Add. Yeah, we'll just do add. Enable armor calculations is true. Half of the time bugs like this happen because someone didn't call a function. Yep, that's basically it. So something... One more thing to check. Development tools. Show hurt info. This will log the armor bonuses an entity gets from that attack as a result of their armor distributions, along with current damage. Yeah, so it's either not logging it because I broke the logging, which doesn't make sense, or it's not logging it because I log if enabled on hurt callback. If armor is not 0 and toughness is not 0. Okay, so it's 0, so it doesn't do that, which is fine, which means it's mapping it to 0, so it's not modifying the armor, right? Okay, we're getting somewhere. Now, why? Why are you not doing it? That implies that implies that you're not entering this section, which means you might be returning early, but I'm an idiot. Yeah, have this do this. Handle hurt stage. It handles the hurt stage. Yeah, I might have been a bit of an idiot there. If we're not enabling armor calculations, then don't do all of this. Okay. That makes sense. Now, do the armor calculations work as intended by God? Me being the God in this context? That'd be cool if they work correctly. I really hope they do. So, assuming that now it actually is doing it, we should have that the gold chest plate prevents the damage. Well, the gold chest plate that says no armor effectiveness, doesn't block anything, and it just goes through raw as heck. But then if I switch the gold chest plate that is going to have all effectiveness, and since it's just doing piercing damage, it should work normally, and I should take 3.52, which is what it seemed to be. And it should fundamentally not change the amount of armor that I get. Alright. 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 This. Not this one. I need to say armor effectiveness all. If it's empty, I need to add a tooltip for all there. Definitely. Much like none. so that we know that it's all. And but that's only if I use the relative thing. Right. If that and then that. Yeah, okay. But this one's none. We'll add this. We'll add this after. That's super quick to do. I'm going to just briefly here. So I got a -5 armor and +0 toughness modification from armor effect. It basically took away all my armor. And it did 3 damage. I took 3 damage, it dealt 3 damage. Beautiful. That meant the armor did shit. It's exactly what you expect it to do. You expect it to do fuck all. And now this one here, this chain chest plate, should now deal piercing damage. Or sorry, it should have 100% piercing damage. Right? I could do this one too. Let's do this one. This is the all one. Right? So now it should block it. Bro. Yep. It dealt 4 damage, and I got 3.52, which is normal. Okay. Now, is there a mob that has 2 types? You do piercing and poison. Okay, so you're not bad, but you're hard to also put in a cell. I guess you're not that hard to put in a cell. Yeah, the freaking config for some of these is just, they're just not there. The config's super old. I probably should regenerate it, but this does bludgeoning necrotic. You're easier to lock down. And so now this is where we do some real armor calculation, verification, testing stuff. You are that. I'm gonna take you for a sec. Alright, go on. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you have enjoyed my my part showcase and also part fixing stuff. Old redstone torch gang. I nearly pressed the button on my mouse that turns off a jetpack. Because I thought I was flying. I genuinely thought I was flying. Stop. Wait. I don't want him shooting me. Hold on. If we're gonna do this right, we should probably... You know... Okay, there we go. Now he won't shoot at me because he can't do that. Good. Okay, so normally by default, he hits me for 3 damage, I take 3 damage. Awesome. With the none chestplate, he hits me for 3 damage, I take 3 damage. It takes away all my armor for that calculation only. Now for this one, this has all. This should double my armor. I got +5 armor. So it gave me 10 armor because I have effectiveness to all types. And my armor calculation rule that I have set is to add all the armor things together. For all armor values that are applicable, we add them together. This typically means that damage that gets split into multiple types will be resisted more easily as the effectiveness of the armor will be added together. So now if I do max, it should not change the damage I take. I should take I should be like normal damage here. Right? Like, yeah, it didn't change my armor. And that was for this. With the armor that has no effectiveness, I still take the full damage, right? Okay, awesome. And now for this one, for example, I don't have any of the necrotic. But it will use the maximum of what I have, which is the bludgeoning. So it should reduce my armor by 30%, which is 2.4 and 0.6. Is that right? Is that 30%? Yeah, that's 30%. Whereas over here, I have minus 70% bludgeoning effectiveness and still a minus 100% necrotic effectiveness. So I will take a lot more damage. I take 2.98. Most of my armor, only 30% of my armor that I had. Only 30% of that, which I guess is like 2 armor. Slightly over 2 armor. I got minus 4.2, right? Yeah. So I took a decent chunk there. And now this one has minus 20% bludgeoning effectiveness, so it has much higher bludgeoning effectiveness. So I should take technically less damage, right? Here I took 2.98. Here I take 2.7. Even though this provides me with less armor, I end up with more armor at the end of the day. So that's for that armor calc rule, which seems to be working, where it's just taking the maximum. Now for add, this has no necrotic damage, so I should still take the same amount of damage that I did before, which was 2.98. I should still take 2.98. I still take 2.98, despite the different armor calculation rule, because the type I don't resist. Now, what I want to do is go here. I need to set this to can pick up loot. I think I do, like, can pick up loot is like 1B or something. Later, idiot. Will you pick this? Would you like the blaze rod, good sir? Yes, I did it. I did it right. So now this change, not this one. This one has extra armor effectiveness. Now you're doing fire damage because now you're hitting me with the blaze rod. But now I have plus 50% fire effectiveness, so I should get a 2.5 armor bonus, giving me about 7.5 armor, nearly as good as a diamond chestplate against this thing. And yeah, I got a 2.5 armor bonus. Now, if I have something with... If I do max... Alright, am I on max? I'm on add. If I go to max, right? And then I find something that does fire and... Something that does fire and bludgeoning. Like this! maybe I'll just give you this. Would you like to have the fry pan, good sir? Did I just throw it way off the cliff? You're freaking joking. Um, yeah, because this does mostly. Well, wait for him to perish. There we go. So now he does 20% bludgeoning, 80% fire. Since I have 50% fire effectiveness, I don't know exactly how much damage he's going to do off the top, but I still get the 2.5 armor effectiveness, which is fine. And the add should add these effectiveness ratings together. And then I guess I'm getting effectively... I'm gonna get less than 2.5, I think. I think I should get less than 2.5. No, I got plus 6.5. Why'd I get plus 6.5? Mostly fire, touch bludgeoning. Current damage is 8.5. I get a 6.5 armor and 0 toughness modification. Why is it 6.5? Oh, wait. Yeah, because adding it together. So I get the 2.5, and then I get 80%, which is 4. Wait. That's not right. That is not right. Because that should be negative, right? Because 2.5, and then the other thing's 4. Hmm. So the thing is that why is it adding it together like that? Because the bludgeoning effectiveness is minus 20%, which means I have 80% bludgeoning effectiveness and 150% fire effectiveness. So I have 7.5 armor. -7.5 armor and then minus 20%. That's gonna be what, like 4 armor? Yeah, I get 4 armor from bludgeoning, but that's less. Shouldn't I have like Huh, what is going on here? Armor classifier. It gets armor resistances. It distributes the armor. Map.merge. A map.merge. That's the amount of armor I have per type. And then what I do is I erase touch stream and we map it to the armor values of that. And we merge it together. That's the amount of armor I have total. And then this armor. Oh, I see. I see what's going on here. I do have 4 and 7.5. And I subtract 5. And that gets me 6.5. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on there. Hmm. That's from map, right? Okay. Apply new armor modifier. That's for that. I already did that. CT.get new armor values. Is this where you use the thing? Alright, this is where I merge it together, and then that's where I have that. Right. It shouldn't add it like that, though. For starters, okay, for starters, this should be applied to each armor piece and not to the entity itself. That way, it's not like merged weirdly. It should be applied to the item. So the way this classifies armor is that this should be a map. Right? The armor classifier should map entity equipment slots to armor maps. For starters. Right? That's an important thing. That way we're not merging stuff. This is important. Step number 1. Now, that doesn't work correctly, but that's fine, because we don't want to merge it. We get the armor resistances, and we map it. We distribute the armor. And then, if present, we don't merge it like this. If present, we just do a map this goes to a map dot put slot dist. What do you mean? I have the slot right here, dude. If present, it needs to take this armor map. Oh, I had too many parentheses. Okay. So now it puts it there. It returns this. And then from there, now we determine how we want to merge this together. If we even do that. No, we should. Right? I think this is a much better way to do this. Map it, map the enemy coordinate slot to the armor map. And then over here, this needs to be a map of entity equipment slot to armor map. Map entity equipment slot to armor map. Butte. Okay. Now, what's What's going on here? Is this a deprecated thing? No. Oh, this is this one. A map dot values. Right, because this is now a map. This dot armor vals needs to be right. This now just needs to be different. Gets the armor values, usually marks enemies armor values. So this should be a map from entity equipment slot. Entity equipment slot to armor values now. Yeah, so now this needs to be a map now. Map of any equipment slot to armor values. This is a much better way of doing this. Oh, I forgot. I need to change this. That's for that, which we'll circle back to. I need this. This is where it uses the armor calc rule to merge this stuff together. amap.values dot values. What do you mean? Oh, amap.values dot stream dot map armor map values. That's right, dude. Don't mess with me. Collection armor values. What? But this maps it to. Right, it's a collection of armor values. I need a flat map. I need a flat map to c.values.stream. amap dot. Oh wait, this is interesting because now this for each oh, slot. Or no, this is for each type, right? Yeah, type. Type. Amap dot for each. Oh, sorry. Amap dot get. Um, Wait, isn't amap a by consumer? Amap dot for each. Yeah, it's a by consumer, which takes the slot and the amap. Well, or the map. I'm gonna do map dot remove type. Yeah, because we have to do that now. We get all the types, we filter out the non-damaging types, so the types that aren't inflicting any damage, and then for each one, we remove it from each armor map. And now we need to merge all of this together for each one. Equals maps dot new hash map. And then amap dot for each slot map this dot armor vals dot put, I can't spell, put in the slot here. Ah, come on, you got this. And now I just have to go to the armor calculation type rule. Chain reduction. Merge after filter. Eval stop filter. Predicate stop not null. What is your predicate? Oh, predicate stop not null. Right. Blah, 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 blah. Right. So that's gonna imply it's gonna use that. So this is going to give us armor values as to the exact modifier, right? Well, yeah, the amount of armor that should be provided. And since we didn't merge each of them together, this is going to be dependent on the original armor values for like that particular armor piece. Now, if it's an instance of item armor, we're going to put it there. Otherwise, it's gonna map to null. So I'm actually want to have a quick check here. If actually no, because it won't have that thing there, right? Because the armor classifier, it's only gonna put it there if it actually has something. So if I do a for each, it's only gonna go off the things that it actually has. And if I'm only wearing one armor piece, then there's only going to be one entry in this map. So then I remove from that map those types. Damaging types. This is non-damaging types, right? Oops. Well, actually, hold on. I'm about to remove. Oh, there's no remove all. I guess that makes sense. It shouldn't be that bad calculation-wise. New hash map now. That's for that. And then for each one of those in that, we merge it all together into that. So the way I merge this now, at this point I don't have that information. Do I know the armor amount? Because I'd like the add to not add it together in that way. Or at least multiply the base armor value by the number of types being inflicted. Maybe, right? Because that's what it should do. And then for each one, we remove those types. And now, how do I merge it with the add rule? Because I need to know what the baseline is, right? Because it should be, one's going to be a 2.5 and one's going to be a -1, right? Um, in the case of what we have here. Oh my gosh, dude. Whoops, that's not even the right thing I need to switch to. I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't even realize I still had Minecraft open. That's how completely lost I was. Nice. Apologies for that. I genuinely forgot I still had Minecraft open. Mm. Let's. It's like I need to pass another thing in here, but it needs to know the armor amount first. It's like I want a record of like the base armor and the base toughness. amap.values.stream.flatmap. It merges it that way. It's almost like I need a little bit of extra information. Maps.new hash map. I do that. And then for this one, I also need to put the size. this dot armor types dot put in the slot map dot size. That's an armor map. Wait, why am I going a map dot values? This is an armor map. Why am I not just doing map dot values? Alright, because for each one, I want to merge this armor map into one set of armor values. Yeah. Get types armor is blocking, I guess. Any equipment slot, oh slot. We need that. I probably should add set number of types armor is blocking. Any equipment slot. Any equipment slot in amount. And then DDT combat calculations dot, or maybe it's in mod consts. No. Const dot armor slots iterable dot for each this dot set number of types armor is blocking a slot to 0. Wait, that's dumb. This dot armor types dot get slot. This dot armor types dot put slot amount. Okay, and then I have to go to the combat calculations, and for this, the get new armor values maps all of that. Vals is that. I don't even really need to now sum up all the armor values like that. That's unnecessary. Don't reduce it though. Do a for each now. A values times. Right, so that's abstract. This is going to return tracker dot get number of types armor is blocking. I need to provide the slot. I think I want to return the same thing here. Tracker dot get number of types armor is blocking for the slot. Dot get. Oh, wait. I can't get for that because I need to know. This is just a stream of armor values. I want to do something completely different. Erase.stream dot. I think I want a dot for each. For each, we get the stack, we get the item, we get all of this, right? And then once we're here, if it's not null, then what we will do is now we will apply. I need to change the way this works. I'm gonna leave that like that for now. Now, item stacks should have attribute modifiers. This like get attribute modifiers. There we go. Add attribute modifier. It gets attribute modifiers, and then it writes the modifier to an NBT. Can I not remove an attribute modifier? I'd have to go into the freaking stack compound and remove it. Or I can just set attribute name is attribute name, and then slot is slot, append tag. Is it gonna... I might have to write it manually. That's kind of annoying. Hmm. Actually, this needs to be modifier type dot get name. This is what goes here. And this goes here. Get tag compound dot Stack.get tag compound dot. Well, I should do optional dot of nullable stack.get tag compound dot map to tag dot get tag list attribute modifiers type 9. Yeah. Attribute modifiers type 9 dot and it's iterable, right? Yeah, it's iterable. Okay. Map this to um if NBT. No, this is where I do the for each. Right. For MBT base NBT in list if MBT base dot now it's writing a tag compound. Right. It's writing a tag compound. Maps it to each one of those. I don't want to necessarily do that then. I want to. Well, if MBT base instance of MBT tag compound and MBT tag compound on NBT base dot get string Hmm. This is fucking annoying. I need to remove the attribute modifier. Hold on. It has to write this attribute modifier, so it has to write the unique ID. Right. Is this a U? It is a UUID. So I could get unique ID as an MBTK compound. UUID. If that is modifier type dot get UUID, append tag set remove tag. Yeah, no, that's fair. Oh, I just need MBT. I don't need this. MBT instance of that. And that is that. We map the list to... I don't know I don't know its index in the list. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Holy shit, dude. The fuck is going on? List goes to list up for each. MBT. This needs a that. Alright, so now I need to map this. Like, what is even happening? I'm just gonna make this a raw for NBT base NBT in list. Do that. Or, better yet, int I equals 0, I less than list dot get tag count. Is that the number of things you got? Probably get tag count. Get tag count. I plus plus. We have to do a very simple thing. MBT base NBT equals list dot get at I. Then, if we have all of that, and that is as intended, we set int I. Can I do I equals 0 like this? And now I break. If found, then what I do is remove list.remove tag at I. And this goes to an if present. Holy crap, why did that need to be... That was unnecessarily complicated. Had no business being like that. We get the stack tag compound. If it's there, we map it to the attribute modifier's tag list. If that's there, then we try and find the one that we put in, and we remove it, and then we apply it. Which means this item stack, this is gonna have because I don't need anything but that. So this is what this is. And then this becomes remove armor modifier for the stack and modifier type, and then we add a new attribute modifier type. What the hell? That had no business being that complicated. And I need to, like, add all of that and then remove all of that. But none of this armor is going to implement I special armor. So there's really no other way to do it. Applying the attribute modifier to the entity makes sense from the complication standpoint, but it won't work with first aid. I want it to work with first aid, so I have to apply this to the armor. Unless I had a really complicated mix-in. If I attach a capability to the stack of like the armor thing, and then I have a complicated mix-in. But the thing is that these values are just accessible. It's just accessible on the armor. Which I don't know if I could change. One of the options is to try and force everything to have these armor properties thing, because that allows it to change the armor that it's going to provide. But we still run into the same thing, right? Hmm. What is this? No idea. It's for the armor material. Okay. That's base what it provides. And then there's a I mean, it kind of sucks, but it works. It's not the greatest, but this needs to be CT or arrays.stream uh armor slots dot for each um slot remove armor attribute slot for ct.get fighter get fighter dot get get item stack from slot, and then this is going to be you. That's going to be this. We're going to need stack here. And we're going to put remove armor modifier stack ddd attribute modifier collections dot toughness. That removes that. It might be better to, I don't know. Apply new armor modifier. We have the stack. This is going to be ddd attribute modifier collections dot armor. The new value is going to be vals dot get slot dot get armor, and then this is going to be avals dot get armor times mod config dot resist dot armor calc rule dot get armor modifier for rule. CT slot slot. I do the same thing, but this is toughness. I have no idea if any of that works. I hope it does. If it does, then that's like, if this works out, that's this and this and this. That would basically be everything. There's got to be a better way to do this though. This is not okay. I might be able to do a little bit better by... Well, I do need to remove the armor modifier. It's either remove the armor modifier or I have to like alter the NBT data, which I mean, I guess I could do, but that kind of sucks balls. You know, it kind of really sucks balls. Right attribute modifier to NBT. How bad is this of an operation? I mean, it's not the worst thing ever, but like I feel like this could be better. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Oh, what is this? Oh, what's this? This is for this. This thing is the deprecated one, right? If I comment this out, then it complains because that doesn't exist. If I comment that out, oh, we can actually do it. Okay. Like in theory, this works, right? But it's just a theory. Okay, I hope this works. Okay, first off, I don't know. It's hard to tell. That just went right through. Shit, you're kidding. Oh, what? But I. Oh wow, I'm actually very low. That's bad. That's not supposed to work like that. So like this thing, if I walk forward, it's gonna. It actually eats all of my armor. That's a problem. I have to look into like how first aid is doing this. Because however first aid is modifying this armor is how I need to do that. Well, in a similar way. Because I don't remember first aid writing all that nonsense NBT code that clearly doesn't work. Which is lovely. Hmm. Well, we're 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 getting there. Um, armor calc verification and testing. This one technically is working. This is technically working. But yeah, I gotta get this working correctly first before I can double check and make sure that armor calculations work as intended. Yeah, because I have a couple of things to double check. Hmm. Well, all right. I'm probably gonna wrap this here. I have a bit of a bit of thonking I need to do. Um, as to how this works. I need to look into first aid a little, but it shouldn't be that bad. We're like very nearly there. I also need to have yeah, I need to add that little thing. Um, but yeah, this was pretty good. I will be back here tomorrow. Doing the usual. Not tomorrow. You're right. Monday. Wow. Dude, my brain just kind of was just kind of melted. I think that's what happened. Monday. Yeah, I'll be back Monday. Um, so appreciate you all stopping by and watching my well, it wasn't completely a descent into madness, but it was something. It was something. Anyway, yes, I have a YouTube, I have a Discord, and I have this mod which I am working on. And yeah, I thank you everyone for coming by. I will probably get going. I need to get some lunch on the double and then look into this. So yeah. I'll probably just wrap it here and then just spend some time doing some research. Maybe I will understand everything. Or maybe I won't. Or maybe I will just sleep. I have no idea, but I'm gonna go do something. So, thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you later.